Barnstorming the country. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump hitting multiple states as he makes closing arguments for his re-election.
The president rallied in Salem, Wisconsin, reminding voters that they went for him 4 years ago in that state, saying he bets they'll do it again.
He said Donald Trump has won the state of
hitting multiple states.
Since Republican did that, but we're actually much higher now than we were then.
But he spent much of his speech slamming Joe Biden, telling the crowd he was a shill for foreign countries, namely China.
But Sleepy Joe declared war on American workers, and Biden spent last 47 years outsourcing your jobs. You got hit hard.
The president said he is the only one standing between the people and a left-wing mob. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Last stop for the president tonight, Omaha, Nebraska. Democratic nominee Joe Biden in Atlanta saying he will be a president for all Americans.
Every American, including the guys on the other side of the fence, will be seen and heard and respected by me. If elected president, there will be no red states or blue states. There'll only be the United States of America.
Even though a Democrat hasn't won the presidential race in Georgia for decades, Biden told the crowd he believes, as he put it, something is happening in the state and around the country. The Texas Supreme Court has ruled that the state's Republican governor may limit drop-off sites for ballots in next Tuesday's election, reversing an appeals court decision that said Governor Greg Abbott could not limit them to one per county. The Trump campaign says its website was defaced earlier today, and it's working with law enforcement to determine the source of the attack. In a statement, the campaign said there was no exposure to sensitive data because none of it is stored on the site. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has banned indoor dining and drinking in Chicago as cases of COVID-19 there surge. America is listening to Fox News.
This is Truth Frequency Radio. The wicked one, obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is counting down the last week before the world loses its mind. And by world, he means the world. Regardless of who wins American selection, people will react in extreme ways. If President Trump is reelected, you can bet there will be riots. Sorry, I mean peaceful protests with fires and looting throughout the major cities, and you can guarantee another 4 years of Congress whining. If the former Vice President Biden wins, people will be attempting to stockpile guns and ammunition in fear of regulations. Stocks will fall for fear of the oil industry being disrupted. There are many ways this can go bad, no matter who wins. We would like to be optimistic, but Peanut subscribes to the age-old philosophy that has never been proven wrong. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com, or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube and you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not October 27th, 2020, then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Who said that? Benjamin Franklin. My co-host is lovely. She's sometimes sassy and always the best Flat Earth conference promoter ever. And that is Karen B. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing great, Mark. Just great.
Wonderful. I'm sure you are on cloud 9, or if there are higher clouds, in the elite category, I am sure you are nearing them. And we will talk about the conference in great detail. This is what the whole show is about, is recapping the conference. But first I want to read because a lot of people that didn't go to the conference didn't hear my little speech, which was only 5 or 6 minutes long. But before we do that, hey, Karen, do you know what the best Flat Earth app is out there?
I do.
Bet you do. It's the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. If every Flat Earther either gifted or at least shared the FE Clock app with just one person every week, the entire world would know the Earth is flat in less than a year. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. All right, I've got the conference notes. I've got my rant up. And are you ready? You got something to drink or partake of?
No, I think maybe I'll go get a drink while I'm listening to your rant.
Okay, let's do this. The rant is called, Did Flat Earth Polarize the World? Some of you will remember that in 2015, I predicted a very small percentage of people wouldn't be able to process the new Flat Earth worldview. The concept would be too much for them. They would overload. I thought they might have some sort of mental break that would send them into a downward spiral, never to recover. I kept waiting for that unlucky flat earther who would eventually snap and drive their car into a shopping mall or crash a blimp into a stadium, all the while screaming, "Long live flat Earth." I was wrong. It never happened. There wasn't even an incident where a flat Earth member resorted to violence of any kind. It seemed that there was no downside to this mind-opening concept. We were the perfect drug. We were just one large, enlightened, happy family. That kind of optimistic thinking was, of course, naive. Everything that we do as a civilization has side effects, and Flat Earth was no different. What could possibly go wrong as we spread the good word of Flat Earth to millions of people who were willing to listen? And spread we did through all countries and languages. We were featured in magazines, newspapers, radio, television, and of course, every corner of the massive machine that is social media. Of these, the most influential was, as you know, the Goliath YouTube, the largest television network in the world. We went everywhere, and so you can imagine if there were side effects to what we've done, they would also be everywhere. Our topic fed the media appetites for the last 5 years, with 2019 being our biggest footprint to date. Jimmy Kimmel even sent a team to punk our Dallas conference. It doesn't get more mainstream than that. We were a tidal wave of change with no negative repercussions. But now, as some of you have noticed in 2020, things are different. We planted seeds in the minds of so many, and this year unleashed the reaping. You see, when you introduce the most polarizing topic into the world and everyone is exposed to it, then everything it touches can also become polarized. Look at where you are right now. You are at a United States Flat Earth conference, sitting next to hundreds of your peers. Almost all of you are not wearing masks, and this place is an oasis of sanity, an island of calm in the eye of the storm, a storm that we helped create. Outside of this room, there is a class war disguised as a race war, inside a political nightmare, and all this is surrounded by a human rights apocalypse, masked as a virus. And every aspect of these topics is now hyperpolarized. If you're not rich, you're poor. If you're not for BLM, you're against it. If you are red team, then you hate the blue team. If you aren't wearing a mask, then you might as well be a terrorist. We decided to change the world, and without knowing it, helped draw all the current lines in the sand. But all of this is, of course, delusional thinking, right? Well, to be honest, we did have help. The powers that be noticed us back in 2015 and accelerated the process. Did we catch them off guard, or was this part of the plan? And if this was planned, did we alter their timetables? Did we inadvertently start a Cold War with the hidden rulers of the world? Everything I am saying right now is madness. You are obviously sitting in a room full of lunatics. No. The real madness was when YouTube removed its search scoreboard so we would stop cheering at it, and when the US government decided to address the flat earth problem on television with the media titans. In 2020, a brand new documentary called The Social Dilemma labeled flat earth as the worst example of fake news and a possible threat to civilization itself. I half expect time travelers from the future to show up here in South Carolina looking for the army of the 12 monkeys and instead finding us, just a positive group of like minds who want to change the system and build a better world. To mainstream media, I'll save you the trouble. If you're looking for someone to blame, blame us. For better or worse, we did this. You're welcome. Regardless of what happens for the rest of the year and moving forward, this idea, your idea, is out there. It's a genie that cannot be put back into the bottle even if you wanted to. In closing, consider this. Everything is changing right now, and each and every one of you can claim responsibility for it. Take some pride and comfort in that fact. While you're here, listen, learn, and teach each other what you know. The future may be uncertain, but it is yours to claim. The globe is dead. Long live flat Earth. Now, normally, this is where the rant segment would end. However, because of the wonderful 2020 Flat Earth Conference presented by Karen B., we have a short bonus rant. I call this rant, When Did You Forget Me, Karen? It's a short little story about my favorite moment of Flatoberfest, and it goes something like this. I had already opened the conference with my speech and Q&A session. The conference was already into its second hour, and everyone was having a great time. People came up to me asking for selfies and an occasional autograph, but most of the time it was to share part of their amazing journey into Flat Earth and what my role was in it. A gentleman approached me with an official Flatoberfest 2020 shirt and asked if I would sign the back next to the list of speakers, which I was a part of. As I went down the list, much to my surprise, I noticed something missing. What was missing? Mark Sargent was missing. Without skipping a beat, I grabbed a Sharpie marker and scrawled my name on the bottom of the shirt. Then I asked the nice man to walk with me as I showed it to the conference promoter, also known as the sometimes sassy Karen B. I asked Karen with some outrage what might be missing from the list. She and Cammie burst out laughing. So, the inevitable question I must ask here is, when did you forget me, Karen? Was it when we were reading poetry to each other on the beach in South America as the moon went off into the flat horizon? Was it when we were at Burning Man but left because it wasn't hip enough, then walked into the desert and did mind-expanding drugs while watching the stars, convinced that we had turned into Komodo dragons? Was it when we spent that weekend in Marrakesh and got those secret tattoos from a street vendor only to find out that he ripped us off as they washed away in the bathhouse steam room? Was it after you swore to me that the only way to get rid of your perfect boyfriend was to kill him while he slept and bury him in the woods next to your house? Wasn't that the plan? Are any of these things true? I doubt it, but it's my fantasy rant, so anyone who doesn't like it can get bent. One would expect a good reason to have my name stricken from the event, and being that the culprit was Karen B. and her accomplice Cammie, that it would be filled with drama and intrigue. Was Karen taken hostage by a white slavery consortium and moved to the Ivory Coast for auction, only to be rescued and flown home to start the conference? Was Karen abducted by aliens and taken to Area 51, where she was experimented on and then replaced by an exact replica? Did Karen finally realize her dream and make friends with an entire Bigfoot family who gave her insights into the secrets of the universe along with how to grow insane amounts of body hair? Sadly, none of these things happened. I found out that it was just a late night with friends and escapism drugs, and my name dissolved away along with the smoke that she was inhaling. So, in closing for real this time, let this be a lesson to all who are involved in relationships short and long. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can be taken for granted or forgotten. And to my dear friend Karen, who I should forgive, I say this. Burn in hell, you raven-haired, heavily inked witch temptress, and the Ted you rode in on. And that, my friends, is how how to address the elephant in the room. So, what were some of your favorite moments of the conference, Karen?
That was one of my favorite moments too, actually.
I knew it. I knew it. All this, by the way, is absolutely true. I couldn't have made that up. I mean, I'm signing things. My ego's starting to get pumped up. It's like, oh, sign your name next to the shirt, right? Like, what? Oh my God. And then of course people kept coming up to me and said, sign the shirt. And then David Weiss got in and crossed off mine. He crossed off my name and wrote something else. I couldn't see it on the phone though.
He wrote DITRH. He crossed off Mark Sargent and then wrote DITRH.
Of course. He wasn't even a speaker.
I know. That's what's funny about it.
Oh.
Of course, then you had to write that, at the top, I put Karen B presents. So then I start seeing all these shirts pop up with like sucks and an arrow points to Karen B.
Forget. God. Well, yeah, because I didn't even notice because somebody pointed it out. It's like, where's Karen? Karen's at the top. It might as well have just said a Karen B production. It's like, what?
I know.
Oh, producers.
It's so funny because like everything was going so great. Like everything went so perfectly. And I was thinking, man, what something bad's, what did I forget? I know I forgot something. And of course, after times went on, there were a few little things I forgot here and there, but that was the major thing I forgot.
Oh, no. Again, I knew that I had been involved with it, since the beginning. I mean, I was looking through our chat thing. It's like, wait, you were the one that asked me if we should do a conference.
Yeah.
And then, which is fine. No, it was a big deal.
You know what?
Really, it was. What?
I could have, if you'd have asked, I could have sworn your name was there. I think it's like almost like I just saw it there, even though it wasn't there. It never even dawned on me that your name was not on.
Well, what was more embarrassing to me was we were at least 2 hours into the conference and nobody knew. They took it for granted. That was it. Well, of course Mark's on there. Mark opened the conference. He's on there. Nope. I was not. But that's fine. There's so many fun. Let's kind of recap. I know there's a bunch of phone calls. You guys are gonna have to listen for a while. So you guys started early. I arrived on Friday morning, but you guys were doing stuff on Thursday, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, Thursday. Nathan was there Thursday, and I think Thursday or Friday. Yeah, he was there Thursday, and then Friday, and then Scooter got there Friday, and he was helping too. So yeah, they were there for a couple days before we started.
Yeah, and I get picked up. I took a red-eye flight on Thursday night, and the mask thing, by the way, out there, I was really ticked off because I was going to have to wear a mask through 2 different airports, and was not being enforced at all. They told you had to wear a mask, but if you took it off, with the exception of getting on the plane, the obvious things is like, you had to wear the mask to get on the plane. But as soon as you were on it, you could pop that thing down because there were maybe 1 or 2 people in your row, maybe. And most of the time, the flight attendants didn't care. If you dropped it down, of course, you didn't want to be blatant about it, like ask them for something while you're not wearing it. But then I get picked up and we did the Airbnb thing with a whole bunch of people. And Friday night was the big meetup at the park right across from the event center, right? Karen?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you doing? Is Ted touching you right now?
No, I'm sorry. My daughter came in here and distracted me.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. So we did a big meetup the night before, and some of us left because we were going to go dinner at Just Jack's house. And the rest of them just stayed and drank at the park and then moved over to karaoke. And we were going to go join you guys, after the thing at Just Jack's. That's, by the way, where you guys saw me do the shooting clip. That was done earlier in the day on Friday. Sorry, my voice is still trying to recover because I was talking basically for 10 hours straight on Saturday. And then, so by the time we left, I think it was a South Carolina thing, the bar closed at 11. And so we just went back to the place and drank and went to bed early and then got up fairly early, and the conference, I got to say, was flawless. Absolutely everything you could think could go right did. There was no technical issues. There were no speaker issues. There were no disagreements between people. There was no media to speak of that I knew of. Not a single person wore a mask. Not one. Nobody. I mean,
No.
and that includes the staff, because the room we were in, which was great. By the way, if you guys anyone's thinking of doing an event like this, find a freaking Shriners event. These guys do a bang up job. I mean, there were 2 bars in the room and a little cafe, little thingy. I don't know what that was in the back of the room, but they were selling food, and it was awesome. Everything just went off without a hitch, and there was, people could go outside, bathrooms and multiple ends. People went outside and smoked, and we had I know I'm getting ahead of myself, and please chime in. The cooks, the cook station with the Thai food was manned by
Dr. Law.
Dr. Law.
Mm-hmm.
And where's
Dr. Law and the flea market crew. Witsit gets it. Yeah.
Karen.
Oh, free flow.
Yeah, he was there. They were cooking Thai food like mad. Thank you guys for having the Thai food delivered to me, because I mean seriously, like, synchronicity was all over the place. Like, just before I was gonna go stand in line for the Thai food, someone like put it on in front of me. It's like, here, Mark, it's from the crew. It's like, oh, it's so awesome. Everyone had such a great time. It was, you'd think there'd be like fights or, you get kind of rowdy after a while. It didn't.
No,
it didn't. It was absolutely awesome. I'm trying to think of other fun moments. Let me think here. A guy came up to me and gave me, and I'm not going to, of course, play it during the show, but he gave me, his name is Reed Miles, and he had burned to a CD a 48-minute Joe Jackson Steppin' Out version of the song, which was from YouTube. And so I went on there, and sure enough, there's a YouTube channel called Ramsey Hagar. And if you guys are into 80s remix or, extended singles or anything, go to that site, Ramsey Hagar. He's got all the extended singles from the 70s and 80s and 90s. It was awesome. A man and his girlfriend came up to me, or wife, I think it was girlfriend, and asked me, because remember I said I'd pay $1 at the conference to anybody who had a woman who had softer hands than me. Remember that?
Yes.
Vaguely. And a woman, and this guy, boyfriend came out. I'll take that wager. Here's my girlfriend hand, right? And I touched her hand, and I said, let you be the judge, right? So I touched his hand, and she touched his hand, and I took it. It was like, he goes, well, no, Mark's is softer, right? But then she flipped her hand over, and I touched the back of her hand on accident. I have never touched skin like that in my life. It was like butter mixed with velvet.
Really?
It was amazing. I gave the $1 back to her because it's like, holy smokes. The rest of, your hand, because your hand gets a little bit of work. The rest of her body was like a stick of butter. It was awesome. Super, super awesome. Special thanks to, Peanut Gallery says, you touched her whole body. It's like, no, but I extrapolated from her hand and arm and face and stuff. So, special shout out to Alex, who brought a bunch of ammo and guns. We went shooting out of Just Jack's, and ammo is not cheap right now, folks. Mm-hmm. And Alex represented. I only took out 1 mag because I want to let everybody else, play around a lot more. But it was so much fun. Everyone just had a blast, to where they were shooting. You probably already heard this, Karen. They were shooting all the way until about 10:20 or so at night, on Friday night. And the problem is there's a noise ordinance that kicks in at 9 p.m. So the cops were at the base of Jack's driveway. And they weren't going to pull up the driveway, and so we sent out people to talk to them, and that's when we found out that the noise ordinance. Apparently, it was like 9 calls to the police station. So, congrats, Jack and Alex, for leading the charge on that. Let me think about. Is there anything else here? Oh yeah, and
I still, I'm upset that you didn't shoot with me, Mark. Though.
I know. Well, hell, I didn't go to anybody else's house.
I know.
I went to Jack and Zulu pretty much had my time because everything's so spread out there. So I didn't get to Bob and Cammy's. I didn't get to your place. I would have loved to have shot with you. That would have been a memory I could have added to the rant. But I'll make up something else down the road.
That's
where
right.
we were in the military together and maybe Afghanistan. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Everyone got to shoot, I think 9mm and 380 and of course the AR-15, and that was great. And just so you guys know, I was absolutely responsible. I was the designated driver on Saturday night. Why? Zulu and everybody was having such a good time. I'm looking at you, Jen, if you're listening to this. I dropped Jen off at her hotel. I didn't think she was going to make it to the room. And she only had like 30 yards to the door. I was looking, going, "Ooh, it's iffy." I think she made it, though.
Jen.
Jen? Is that her name?
Jen who?
Glasses, brunette. Is it Jen?
Sue?
Somebody chime in.
Sue.
Was it Sue?
The petite woman, really quiet kind of voice?
Nope. She was not quiet.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was her name was Jen. Anyway,
I don't know who that is.
Anyway, the point is that it's bad. I mean, Zulu is a heck of a driver. I mean, he could drive security for limos for presidents, I think. And he gave up the wheel because he was like, "Yeah, I don't think I can do it." so I had to drive home, and so I was the responsible one because I did not have a sip of anything on Saturday.
Well, shout out to Zulu One for knowing his limits.
Exactly.
And relinquishing control to the Sarge.
like I wanted to drive after a long day, but it's like,
I know.
The least.
So how did you get your voice back by today? Did you just not talk for 2 days?
Yeah, I didn't talk for 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, well, because
your voice
whole plane
was toasted.
Ride, I mean, I sat in an airport, then I sat on planes. I just didn't say anything, and then when I got home, I just I was pretty quiet, and then I spent all day doing yard work today. So, but I had everything amped up for the rants and the memories things. I met so many cool people. Oh, and of course, one of my favorite memories is the just by accident, because I asked who was in Dallas, and not that many people raised their hands. I say, how many people have? It's your first time. Your first event, and it was the majority of the room raised their hands, and that was just wild. It's like, really?
Was my best. That's my favorite part, hands down. Yeah. That is my favorite part from Flatoberfest. When you said that, I didn't even think about asking that question. But when you asked that, and then I turned my head and I looked at all the hands up, I was like mind blown because I just saw all this whole group of hands go up that it was their first time at something like this, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen I mean, obviously the very first conference, it was a lot of people's first time because it was the first conference, but since then, I don't recall seeing that many hands go up at any meetup saying, "Oh, this is our first time for something like this." So that was amazing.
That was chills. I mean, that was a lot of people pent up. It's like, look, we got to do something, and they drove from all over. We're going to go to break here in about 10 seconds. So it says Peanut Gallery, and I mean, people drove. If you lived on the East Coast and you went to this thing, you drove, and people drove a long way. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to come back from the break. I know the calls are already lined up, and we'll take calls and hopefully have some Flat Earth Conference memories. Presented by Karen B, producer of the year. Soon to be my ex-wife. You didn't know we were married?
I'm still trying to get divorced, Mark.
From the dawn of man, we have turned to nature to help attain balance within ourselves. But somewhere, we lost our way. Western culture is once again remembering the healing benefits of CBD, the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant. That's why more and more people who use CBD report relief from inflammation and chronic pain, balanced blood sugar and cardiovascular system, relief from muscle tensions, tremors, migraines, headaches, anxiety, depression, and the list goes on. The big question is, where do you get it? iLife is a 99% pure CBD oil made with all organic ingredients, and it's available to TFR listeners worldwide. If you use coupon code TFR at checkout, you'll get $5 towards your order. Head on over to ialife.com now. That's AYA life.com.
Your home has needs. It needs a healthy, dry environment all year round. Start by getting rid of the worst air in the basement and crawl space, where the problems begin and make the whole house sick. Introducing the new Smart Wave Ventilation Unit. It has advanced technologies to continuously reduce moisture, mold, and odors, and expel radon, gases, and pollutants. And now, Wave units include carbon monoxide detection to automatically expel air at a high rate and send you an alert. It also has an app so you can remotely monitor the conditions. Wave is a comprehensive, maintenance-free, affordable solution that will transform your entire home. Your home segment family with what it needs. Give it a new Smart Wave Ventilation Unit. For more information, call 888-717-WAVE. That's 888-717-WAVE. Or go to dryhealthyhome.com. That's dryhealthyhome.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading
I had
the
such a
Birth
great time
Trilogy,
this weekend. I
you will
met
journey with the
so many
characters
people
from
that
the
are in this
origin
chat.
of Earth to its
It was
final
great. It
destiny.
was
In a
fucking
white-knuckle
great.
ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled B-E-A-R-T-H, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. Hey, you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album, Karen.
Night and Day.
Damn right. And again, thanks to Reed Miles for burning a CD with a 43-minute mix of that song. Believe it or not, I listened to the whole thing.
I believe it.
I did. I listened to the whole thing. I had it on the background, and it didn't get old. It was awesome because it's got one of those riffs that you can run instrumentals for a long time.
It's
vocals
like,
will get old pretty quick.
That's like your life soundtrack now. It's like no matter what you're doing, just going through the day. It's like do 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 do.
Exactly. Oh yes, awesome. It's awesome. But seriously, phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Please call in with questions about the conference, the wonderful, perfect Flatoberfest that was held in South Carolina.
Questions or comments, or tell us your favorite part about the conference if you were there.
Yeah.
And you have a cool story about it.
Yeah. Let's pick up. Let's take a chance here. There's a South Carolina call coming in. Let's grab 864. 864, were you at the conference and did you love it?
Jack. And Alex with Critical Inception. Oh, I fucked that up. Sorry.
It's both of them. You're the reason that I have a video out there that has limited ads because I'm holding a gun in it. But that's okay. Hey, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
So I have one thing to say to Karen. Karen, you should have been there shooting with us. We missed you.
I know.
You guys tried for the karaoke thing, and it got cut too short. We were going to go to karaoke right after the police left, and we went to pull out, and then we got a phone call. They shut the place down, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And Mark, it's not a South Carolina thing. It's a COVID bullshit thing. They're supposed to close at 2 a.m.
I knew. Yeah. I knew it was a COVID thing, but it's a COVID thing tied to South Carolina. No, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Gotcha.
So.
But yeah, it was hard
because
for me to
COVID
get
is
away,
extra
Jack.
dangerous at 11, after 11.
Nice.
Go again, Karen.
I said it was hard for me to get away though because this was my event, so I was working this weekend.
I'm just teasing you. We miss you and we love you, Karen.
I love you too.
Yep.
That's why we're calling into the Karen. That's why we're calling into the Karen show. You know, we love you so much.
Not just the Karen show, but Karen B presents the Karen show. Yeah.
That's right. All right, Alex has a story to tell you. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, so a long time ago, I saw a video of redneck making semi-automatic into fully automatic with a little trick where they put their finger through their belt loop and they just put it through the trigger guard, and you just have it at your hip, and it goes full auto. And we tried it out, and it was freaking amazing. We got a video. We'll have to send it to you guys.
It works?
Yeah, so I was very skeptical because I was like, yeah, maybe they just got like really good at shooting fast and it makes it look automatic or something like that, right? But sure enough, dude, he puts his finger in his loophole with it inside of the trigger, and I was videotaping him, and it was crazy because it went so rapid fire that he was in the screen of the camera and then he was out of the screen of the camera because it was just pushing him back from the impacts.
Wow.
From the recoil. It was amazing.
Wow. That is awesome.
And by the way, if anybody's wondering, yes, I do sound different because my voice is completely gone.
Oh, yeah.
Mine too.
You should have heard Jack yelling all weekend. Of course, you know he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to check out Critical Inception, an authentic, intense video of the flat smacking that we did in Greenville, South Carolina. In both videos, even though Joshua was upstairs with Authentic Intent and Alex was downstairs, you can hear me yelling in the background of both of them.
And the Georgia Guidestones.
And the Georgia Guidestones, yeah. We had some ballers that watch what's that guy's name? Lyman Dan? Yeah, they came out there to come and meet us, and one lady was like, well, you guys shouldn't be coming out here and talking about all this stuff, trying to convince everybody the world is flat. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We were out here by ourselves and you came out here to see us. And she's like, we didn't do that. Like, yeah. So somebody accidentally who watched the Simon dance shows up where we were screaming bullshit.
Yeah, right.
And by the way, I love the fact that no trolls showed up. You know, we had trolls at Dallas. We had a pretty big troll contingency at Dallas, including, you know, Jimmy Kimmel's guys.
Mm-hmm.
No trolls showed up at this event. It was flawless.
Yeah. Well, because
but they kind of trolled us from home because and it was flat earthers trolling flat earthers, so I ain't gonna get into that nonsense.
but to be fair, there was such a big contingency of people smoking on the steps that if I was a troll, I'd be scared to death to come into that place.
Yeah, you'd have to walk the gauntlet to get in there.
At least 40 to 50 people outside that front door at any given time.
Yep,
smoking like chimneys.
You'd have to definitely go through the gauntlet to get in there.
Yeah.
And you know, they already know that I eat the souls of trolls, so the trolls aren't going to attend an event put on by the Flat Earth Witch herself. They know they're in trouble there. Come on,
it's true. Very, very
true.
All
right, so number one favorite part of the whole conference. I mean, obviously, hanging out with all my favorite people was the best, but by far the second best is definitely the same as you two. When you asked how many people were here for the first time and they all raised their hand, I got chills and a tear in my eye.
Yeah.
It is fantastic that people are waking up and people are going to stand on the truth, regardless of what kind of ridicule they're going to get for being maskless in a group setting.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even though it was a big meeting of people flattening the curve, we became a great hot spot, did we not?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It was awesome. I mean, You think you shut down Flat Earth for a year of all of 2020? Nope. Not even close. First opening and everybody took it. So it was great.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely great. And they drove a long way. People drove a long way to get there.
People drove across the freaking country, the whole country. There were people that drove from California, people that drove from Oregon and Washington.
Oh, yeah. You even got in a few from Canada because Canada opened up its doors.
Yeah, I just have a little backstory for you guys. Do you remember that balloon that interrupted Bob during his presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a balloon from Dallas. Balloon curve, Earth doesn't. I brought that from last year, and
he's breaking up because he's traveling.
You conference called him. No worries. I looked in that direction. I knew it was you, Alex. I knew the second I looked over there, was only one person playing with balloons. It was you. So
yeah, and he's on his way back to Virginia. Virginia right now. That shows you right here. You know, people were willing to drive out, but he gave that balloon to my daughter. So it was us again. You know, we were front and center in all the chaos. You know, we had to bring cops into the conference. You know, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
but
it's not a party
it
until
fantastic.
Cops show up for a noise ordinance. So it's awesome.
That's right. And
anyway,
let me tell you something. We live in a great area because the cops actually came out again last night because they were called, and it was only 8 o'clock, and they said, you know what, you're well within your rights. Keep on shooting. And he said they call and they complain, and we have to come out here because that's our job. Yeah. But you know, you're well within your rights, so keep on shooting. That was great to hear, dude.
Cool.
Great.
That's great. Awesome. All right, man.
He's calling in right now because he got dropped, but I love you guys. Love you, Karen. You did a great job. It was fantastic. It was great hanging with you. And I can't, Mark, I can't wait to do it again. Love you all.
Thank you. On. Love you back.
All right. Have a good one. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Let's just keep it going. Let's do New York. 516. What are we talking about, New York?
Just listening, guys. Just listening.
No worries. I'll put you back on mute. Nobody uses the listen line ever. Let's go to North Carolina, 828. North Carolina, were you at the conference? And if you weren't, why not? What's wrong with you?
Hey, Mark and Karen. Yeah, I was at the conference. I had a blast. It was a great time. It's so awesome to see so many people that use critical thinking and just and have open minds, and just really enjoyed it. Big shout out to Zulu and David Weiss and Kirk and Amy and Kate and Bob and Cammie and Dr. Law, and just really one of the great things is really enjoyed seeing the new people there. You know, there was a lot of people that really, some of them hadn't even been in Flat Earth, weren't even Flat Earthers as much as they were just open-minded people, and said, I really want to check this out. And I thought that was really incredible.
Yeah.
And,
it was awesome.
You know, in your rant, you you made me laugh because you said, you know, hadn't flown the blimp into the stadium.
Yeah.
Dude, it was windy that day. Come on. You know?
I know it was a
How
pop
many of us
culture
Flat
reference.
Earthers have blimps, you know?
But again,
I know.
I'm still stunned that, you know, we've done this for over 5 years now, and nobody in Flat Earth has freaked out. I mean, Jared and I were talking about this once when there was a boat planted in a parking lot in a mall in Canada with Jaronism written on the side of it, and we're looking at it going, oh, this thing's going to blow up. So this thing's going to catch fire. Somebody's going to blow this thing up. And never happened. I mean, it's weird. Flat Earth transforms people. So awesome.
Yeah, well, the movement's been fortunate not to have, you know, agent provocateurs other than maybe Mad Mike. I don't know. You know, it's been fortunate in that.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, it was a great conference. Karen, you did an awesome job. You really did. It was just great to see everybody there, and I've been looking forward to meeting David Weiss, and that was really enjoyable. I enjoyed talking with you too, Mark.
Thank you.
And yeah, man, and the speakers were great. And you know what was great about the speakers is that it was it was also moving into the realm of just that it wasn't just flat Earth; it was just a whole new consciousness.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. All the speakers were awesome, and all were received well. It was a good mix.
Yeah, and the pinatas were hilarious. That was great.
Thank you.
That was really great. So yeah, and it was my son and I, and we had a good time. And next day we went down to the Duluth to a train museum, and we ran into a group of people. Those people who dress up and pretend they're still in the Civil War. What are they called?
Reenactors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Georgia State Troopers.
Oh.
So no.
Okay.
Couldn't resist. All right. Anyway, everything was great. The only thing is it's too short, and I get it. This wasn't enough time to see everybody. I really am. I'm sorry I didn't get to visit with Bob and Cammie again, or even I barely got any time to talk with Zach. It was just great though, because there's so many awesome people there. It really was, and you guys did such a great job.
Thank you.
And thank you.
It's great. All right, man. Hey, any shout outs?
Yeah, go. Oh, I thought I did, but okay. Yeah, you and Karen, of course. Ted's awesome too. Zach and Zulu and Kirk and Amy and Kate, Dr. Law, Bob and Cammie, and just everybody else that was there. Just shout out to everybody for being great.
Awesome. Very, very cool. All right, man. Have a good one. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Okay. See you now.
Okay, next one will be Pennsylvania. I mean, Ted's okay. I mean, if you're into, jaw lines and hair and muscles, All right, 215 area code. Are you with us? 215. Oh, shit. Pennsylvania.
Shh. He's snoring.
His name might be John.
Shh. He's snoring. There's snoring. We got one.
That's what happens when I do a rant. We'll have to come back to him. Okay, yeah, when I do a rant, sometimes people listen to me and I lull them into a state of hypnosis, a trance, as it were. All right, I know this person isn't sleeping. 360. I know you were at the conference and had a blast. We're so glad we got you there. What's happening?
Hey, it really is everyone's favorite Dottie. Hi.
Hi, Dottie. Did you have a great time or what?
I had a blast, but who is this I'm speaking to? I know Karen is there, but who's this other guy? Like, I don't think you were on my t-shirt.
Yeah,
were you there?
Sorry, I'm going to have to adjust the rant. Burn in Hell now applies to Dottie. And yeah.
That's awesome.
My favorite part, by the way, of you being there was when the guy from Transylvania who kept drinking more and more came up to you, and I introduced you, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's actually Dottie! It's actually everything." He was lit up like a Christmas tree. I thought he was going to squish you. He was so happy.
Yeah, he was way excited. No, that was one of the most shocking moments for me, was just how many people know me just from being this goofy chick who calls in. And yeah, that was very surreal to me. I've become kind of semi-famous, and yeah, I think my absolute favorite part is that, when we're trying to explain flat Earth to people, every single one of us has gotten the question, well, why does it matter? Why does flat Earth matter? And you know what? It really doesn't matter what the shape of the Earth is, because at the end of the day, none of us really know. But what matters is all of you people, because everyone knows I was calling in, trying to sell my domes just so I could get there. I put out one last video, when I had to pay for my room and I had to buy my flight. And it was, I think 2 weeks before, and I was desperate. I'm dude, I don't think I'm going to be able to go. So I put out a video on YouTube. I asked for a couple $100 for my donation, and people reached out to me and they went above and beyond what I was asking for. They made it happen that I could get to this conference. And then at the event, I sold all of my domes, and I mean, far exceeded what I was expecting bringing home from that. And I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without you guys. I wouldn't have met any of you without Flat Earth. And so it's like, that's why it matters, is all of you people, all of you who raised my energy vibration, and you just like, you all loved me so much and just took me in under your wing, and we're like, no, this chick is going. Like, we don't care if we're not going, but she's gonna go and she's gonna have a blast. And like, that matters so much more than anything that I could ever ask for on this Flat Earth. And I mean, I can't explain just how much all of you like truly mean to me. Like, you're all so special to me. I'm so thankful that I got to stay with you, Mark, and Zulu, and Critical Inception, and Shelly, and Steve, and then I got to meet so many old friends. I got to meet so many new friends, and yeah, literally everybody knows who Dottie in Flat Earth is, and it's just, you're all just so special to me. But I had the best time. The only thing that I could ask for next year is that OBL gets like 3 hours of music time, because 1 hour was not enough with them. They're just amazing. It was so fun dancing, and yeah, I just love you guys so much, and I'm so happy that I got to be a part of it. And yeah, it was the best. Alex let me shoot his AR-15, and I had way too much fun with that thing. But yeah, everything was it was so awesome.
Cool. Yeah, when the music started, that's when my voice pretty much got wrecked, because then people were still asking me questions, but I had to try to raise my voice in the back of the room to try to overpower it. Wasn't going to work. And so I had to go outside, and I felt bad. I didn't want to leave, but because the music was great and the sound system was great, by the way.
It was perfect. Yeah.
The sound was on point. We had no sound issues. You know how at all the other conferences there's been all these crazy sound issues with feedback and microphones and blah blah blah. None of that.
Yeah.
None.
And we had 2 mics going. You had your mic down below and the mic up above. It was, and the video stuff. The video presentations went perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of clips were being played, and we didn't have any clips that were dead, or clips that didn't have compatibility issues. It was awesome.
Nope, it was great. Thank you. Shout out to Commercial Sound and Video, Nathan. Shout out.
Right on. Right on. Anything else, Dottie?
I don't think so.
You forgot Nathaniel.
Yeah,
by the way.
And Nathaniel, I apologize. Yes, of course.
That's all right.
He was there
Nathaniel
as
and I are
well.
now kindred spirits, because he was forgotten too. He slept right next to me, by the way, in a trundle bed. Well, we weren't sleeping we were in different trundle beds, but he was sleeping right next to me. I felt bad. Anyone that sleeps next to me, I do snore if I'm on my back. I'm sorry about that, Nathaniel, if you're listening.
I know. I tried to offer you my giant king bed that you can snuggle me, but you didn't trust me, apparently. So it's fine.
As tempting as that was, Nathaniel is probably the safer option. So it's fine.
That's awesome.
Any last shout outs before we go? Because I want to pick up one before the break.
Shout out to Zulu One and Sufinelli and Jess Jack.
Right on. All right, Dottie. We will talk soon.
See you on the flat side. Bye.
All right, let's go. Let's jump over. We can do one more call for the break. Let's try maybe New Mexico, 505. It's you, me, Karen B. Were you at the conference? Were you not at the conference? And do you have a good excuse?
Don't have a good excuse, except maybe Jan wasn't there, so I didn't go.
Oh,
That's pretty lame.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. Jan would like to go, but there's some health issues I know that don't allow her to go. If you're talking about Jan from Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
why she wasn't at the Dallas
absolutely.
conference, because we all were asking about her there.
Yep. Jan, if you're listening, you're always missed.
Yes, we love Jan.
Yeah, she's great. But she
Absolutely.
was with us in spirit. And in fact, there was a lot of people there with us in spirit. And by the way, there was a lot of live streams going on while we were there. There was a whole bunch of people filming and shooting stuff. I don't think Flat Earth Fokker from Canada, I don't think he put his phone down.
Him and Brian did not.
No, they didn't. And Zulu kept his thing going, and other people. Rose was there, right?
Yes.
I don't think every once in a while, with a group that big, because I don't know what the final count was. We were pushing. I know it was way over 300 though, right?
Oh, it was well past 300. I sold well past 300 tickets. So yeah.
Yeah. At some point, you with that many people, you're not going to run into some of them. And I don't know. I don't remember if I actually bumped shoulders with Rose at any point. I feel bad because I saw her in videos. It's like, oh wow, she was there.
Did you see the girl in the wheelchair?
Yeah, I saw her, but I didn't talk to her.
Okay, that's Rose. That was Rose.
Rose is in a wheelchair?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
she's
if you're doing
paraplegic.
podcasts, you're sitting down a lot of the time.
Yeah, no, she's in a wheelchair.
I didn't know that.
It's hard to miss. Yeah.
Oh.
You'd never know it just by looking at her, because you just would never know.
Now I feel bad.
I didn't know for a long time.
Rose, if you're listening, I feel bad. Somebody tell her. I wish I would have run into you. Although I don't. Well, it's okay. I'll make it up to you. I swear. Not like Karen's gonna have to make it up to me for the epic fail that she did, but we'll make something up. Anyway, what else? New Mexico. Sorry. What else on your mind?
Yeah, no worries. Sorry I missed it. Guns, Thai food, and Flat Earth. You can't get a better combination than that. Wow.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could promo a meetup that is kind of a last minute thing.
Do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the New Mexico area. It's east of Albuquerque, about 30 miles. We're doing it's just a few of us right now, but hopefully a few more will come. Full moon rising viewing on this Saturday, October 31st. We're probably going to meet up like in a town called Edgewood, and I'm going to give my email out.
Okay.
It's just a few miles north of I-40, and we want to look at the full moon as it's coming up at 6,900 feet, which should be really gorgeous.
Awesome. What's the email?
It's avocadospider@yandex.com. avocadospider@yandex, yandex.com, and we're probably going to be doing it around 4:35 or 5 o'clock this Saturday. Because I think the moon's going to be rising about 5-ish. Yeah. And if I have another second, I was going to ask Karen a question.
30
on
seconds.
The full moon. Okay, Karen, on the full moon, and maybe you could address this when you come back from break. What we're trying to see too is if the moon actually rotates clockwise. If we could designate that, I know I think you've worked on that, and Paul on the plane actually thought it went kind of the other way too. So that's what we wanted to see. Keep tracking it like a face on a clock.
Yes, I have done that actually. If you mount your camera on a
on a break.
Okay. Well, I'll answer that when we get back.
When we come back.
I'll answer.
Anyway, thank you.
Okay.
When we get back.
Yep.
Don't go anywhere. 3 minutes.
His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas, Karenism Raw with Karen and Missa, Fearless with Frank Castle, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Eye of Ra with Ra Castaldo, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray, Ironworks with Josh Corey, The Kev Baker Show, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR-LIVE. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
A second night of unrest. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Reports of hundreds of people on the streets in Philadelphia demonstrating against police, and there are some reports of looting after the shooting death yesterday of a black man by police. DA Larry Krasner said earlier today the death of Walter Wallace Jr. is being investigated.
There have been many shootings of civilians by police where we have reviewed the evidence carefully and we have determined that it does not support criminal charges. And in those cases, we have declined to bring those criminal charges.
The shooting was caught on video. Police say they did one instructionist who they say was carrying a knife to drop it and opened fire when he did not. Wallace's father says his son was shot 10 times, but it's not clear on the video how many shots were fired. Election day is 1 week from today, and President Trump campaigned in 3 states. His last stop tonight in Omaha, earlier Wisconsin, telling the crowd he is the only choice.
It took generations to build the America that we know and love. But if the radical left gained power, it would take them only a matter of months to burn it down, tear it down, or destroy it. I'm the only one standing between you and the left-wing mob. I hate to tell you, there aren't too many of us.
This afternoon, he was in Lansing, Michigan. Democratic nominee Joe Biden was in Georgia, slamming the president on his response to COVID-19.
Donald Trump has waved the white flag, abandoned our families, and surrendered to this virus. But the American people don't give up. They don't give in. And surely they don't cower. And neither will I.
And Biden said he will be president for all Americans, not just Democrats. Residents of the Gulf Coast are preparing for yet another hurricane. Zeta is expected to re-strengthen and then make landfall tomorrow evening south of New Orleans. It's the 27th named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. America is listening to Fox News.
You must unite what is citizen.
We are TFR, Truth Frequency Radio. Can we control? 'Cause when we come through, you're gonna fall.
Welcome back.
Woohoo.
Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, and we had a listener write in during the break that said maybe we shouldn't call her Karen anymore because she has now become the #1 promoter, so now she should be called Queen Bee. Maybe. I don't know. Except then we won't know her name. I think Karen Bee's still fine, but Queen Bee, well, I could live with it. Right now, she's the hottest woman in flat Earth. That's for sure. But Karen, did you have any more to say about the moon thing?
Well, yeah, I have to answer that question. So he's asking about the face of the moon rotating clockwise through the night. Now, what that is called is field rotation, and it's basically, just the face of the moon as it traverses over the plane. From your perspective, it's going to change orientation. I mean, it's just if you put something on a wide circle, take any image and put it on a wide circle, and then have it go around in a circle, and from your point of view it's going to change orientation. So I've actually done this. I put my P900 on a tripod and I just left it in the same spot all night long, and I went out and I took intermittent pictures at the same of the moon, and then I just took each one of those pictures and I centered them up, and I made a little motion GIF out of them, and then you can see the face of the moon, including the lit part, the whole thing, the lit part and the face of the moon together rotates clockwise from our perspective. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, it rotates the other way, counterclockwise, but that's just viewer perspective, and it's called field rotation. And it doesn't prove that the Earth is a globe. And it doesn't prove that the Earth is or that the moon is a ball or anything like that. It's just the way that we see things from our perspective on the plane when we look up at the things in the sky. And the same and the sun does the same thing. It has the same field rotation. So like when we were taking pictures of the sunspots, they rotate around the face of the sun, and it's not that the spot is rotating, it's that the face of the sun is rotating from our perspective.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
I hope that answers your question, guy.
Guy, buddy.
I don't remember his name. Sorry about that.
I'm going to call him Sean.
But it's field rotation, basically.
Okay. Oh, maybe Julian. Julian's a good
rotation.
name. All right, let's go to 813. What? I met a guy named Julian at the bar the other day. He was a nice guy. 813, it's you, me, and Queen Bee. What's happening?
Hey, guys. Just this fella down in Florida. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Great. I have something I want to share with you tonight.
Yeah.
Harmonics, frequency, vibration. According to Tesla, that is the secrets of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And in saying that, we had amazing vibes coming off this weekend. We had amazing vibes. I'm still reeling from it. I'm still feeling a great time from it. I went by myself, didn't know anybody, and I felt like I made a million friends. And I really, really am having a great time from it. Having said that, I want to thank you, Karen, for, again, having the balls to put this all together in the midst of all the other stuff, because every time I walked away from it, I forgot about when I was there, I forgot about the mask issue. When I walked away, it was reminded everywhere I went. But it was a wonderful get-together with no mask. Wonderful get-together with like-minded individuals that had a great time together.
Yep.
And
even the Trump rallies, by the way, have some masks. We had none. No staff. No one in the event
zero, buddy. Zero.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Zero.
And I do want to say this. I want to thank both of you guys, because you made yourself accessible and you wore yourselves out trying to make sure you got around to everybody. And I appreciate it. I'm still on the road. My mom's birthday is tomorrow, and I made a stop to see her. So I haven't put all my thoughts together, but off the top of my head, I just want to tell everyone that I made friends with this weekend, it was great to meet you. But you two really stopped to take the time. I mean, you wore yourselves out to be there, and I saw it, and I appreciate the extra effort. But Mark, you did have to mention to me that you weren't on the shirt, so I know it was a bugaboo with you. But
he's just trying to make my life
it's
hell.
like being on a rock concert tour shirt, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, where's your band, man? It's like, what?
Well, aren't you the opening gig? Where were you at on the show? Yeah, I got you.
Aren't you like right
no,
after
it's all
Van
good.
Halen? It's like, damn it.
I know. I felt so bad.
Well, you did and you didn't, because you had the biggest. You and Cammy had the biggest grins on your face when I told you. It's like, oh my god. It's like, whatever.
Well, yeah, I'm laughing because
it's
of
like
course
you
it would happen to you.
Of course. Of course it would.
You know, but I still felt bad. But what can you do but laugh at stuff like that? It's like there's nothing you can do, really.
Let me get this out here real quick. The speakers, just so you know, folks, who you missed. Karen opened, followed by me, Jason Lindgren, Mike Williams, then we had a break, then James True, Bob Nodell, and then the musical act was One Big Love with who's the special surprise?
There wasn't a who, it was the piñatas.
Oh, okay, got
Because
it.
I didn't tell
Knuckles
everybody
Street.
about that, so I had the piñatas and that was my special surprise. Where but a lot of people kind of left and spread out after that. I know everybody left to go to the campfire, but
what campfire?
That was the James True thing. He had a campfire thing that everybody was going to, and a lot of people kind of left early to go to that.
Oh, I didn't even know.
I didn't know either until that day,
campfire.
and then everybody's talking about a campfire. I'm like, well, I can't go to a campfire, man. I got this place till midnight. I rented it till midnight so we could all hang out here. So,
oh, and heck, after I left, after I became the designated driver, when we came back for Jen because she couldn't find us, and so we had to pick up her drunk butt, and there was still like 50 people hanging out front. They weren't going home. They were not leaving. These are the people that didn't go to the campfire and just decided to stand up. And it was pouring rain, by the time we closed everything down. So anyway, sorry. I'm sorry, caller. What else did you have?
No, that's fine. This is Jason Ray in Tampa.
Hi, Jason.
I just want to shut it down real quick and say, I want to give a shout out to Karen B and Mark Sargent for really doing what they do best. Karen, thank you for having the balls put this on and miss all the bullshit going on out there. I know you had your hands full, and a lot of strangers became friends this weekend. Peanut Gallery, thanks for what you do. But I want to say this also. It was a pleasure to meet Dottie, Nathaniel, and Zulu One. I mean, I wanted to step up there. All the speakers were there. Jason Lindgren was awesome. He took a lot of time talking to me and stuff. And you guys, to make friends with you was amazing.
Awesome.
Nathan from the sound system.
Yeah.
Thanks for going and taking me out to a convenience store in the middle of the night to get a gas can because I don't know how to read my gas needle. You're awesome. You're amazing. You really stepped up. I appreciate it. He's a good guy. But having said all that, you guys, thank you for the experience. I want to say that.
Very cool. Thank you.
And
thank you.
great to meet you. Have a good night.
All right.
Thank
have a
you.
good one. Yeah, my calves, by the way, were killing me by the time that next day rolled around. Because I'm not getting any younger, and when you stand on your feet and walk around for 10 hours straight, whew, it was getting brutal.
The next day, I felt like I did a full body workout, like my whole body. I was very sore.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like,
riding
wow,
home.
I feel like I did a workout.
Yeah, it was very, very active. A lot of people were. Nobody sat still. It was like a beehive. People were just running around doing all this stuff. All right, let's see if we can grab 3 more before the final break. Let's do
11:11. It's 11:11.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, who do we pick up at 11:11? 864.
Well, isn't that synchronicity? I was just listening because we've already had our time to chat, but hey, I could talk some more.
No.
Completely gone.
Hey, Jack, look behind you.
No, I can talk forever.
Oh, he's gone. Let's go to, sorry, Jack. How he got back in the queue? Let's go to 803. 803, you're on with you, me, and Queen B.
What's up, Mark? Hey, Queen B.
Hey, Dr. Law.
This is Law.
No.
Hey, Mark, it was great seeing you again, my friend.
Yeah.
I literally ate you up, man. I had 2 servings of your food, lunch and dinner. It was delicious.
Hey,
It was awesome.
thank you very much, Mark. And I just wanted to say that all the proceeds that we did for the pad thai and the fried fish goes out to our activism that we do here in South Carolina, in West Columbia, with That Flat Fellow. I want to shout out my crew, the South Kakalaki crew. That's That Flat Fellow, Free Flow, that's Benny, Sealand Sky, Captain Kirk, Crystal Clear, and Calvin. We're here all the time. We try to get out there to the flea market, but with the mask going on, we're not going to go out there until they lift that restriction. But I also want to shout out you, Mark, for all that you do, for waking us up. And the biggest shout out goes to you, Queen Bee. You are the best. You got balls bigger than anyone here on this realm. I mean, balls that are bigger than Brian Staveley.
Yeah.
I had a great time racking and cracking everyone's back. And thank you, everyone who donated for the adjustments and who helped us, came out and buy the food and helped us towards our fundraising for the activism. And I cannot thank you guys enough. We all needed you to do this, Queen Bee. That's all I want to say, guys. You guys have a good night. It was a pleasure meeting everyone. And we are the best, guys. We are the
Absolutely,
best.
we are.
Much love to you guys.
All right, man.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
Thank you, Law.
Later.
All right. See you, man.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, and he's got a point, doesn't he? That I said this kind of in the speech. Only Flat Earth could do this, and you especially. Again, I can't get on my knees and bow to you right now, but only Flat Earth could do a conference in the middle of a pandemic with no masks at all, including the staff for the entire event. It was awesome in that regards. And I was waiting for somebody to wear a freaking mask. Not even close. It was, and there was, by the way, I forgot to mention, not only do we have a lot of wives, we had a lot of kids.
Yeah.
At this event.
Yeah,
running
because
around.
I made children free or donation or free. Because I wanted people to be able to bring their children with them. I thought that's very important.
Yeah. We had a whole bunch of kids there.
Yeah.
And I was giving high fives and signing things for 12 and 11-year-olds. Really, so it's probably good that the media wasn't there. And again, the virus is what stopped the media, the bulk of the media, from even attending, because they're not allowed to do remote shoots unless it's absolutely essential. And in an election year, almost nothing is. So we'll see if they even cover it retroactively, which is great.
That would be great. I know somebody told me that they saw a Fox News vehicle in the parking lot at the park across the street. I don't know if those people actually came inside, because nobody ever approached me as media or anything like that. I didn't give any media passes. I didn't even have that. I did not ever contact any media. So anything that happens as far as that goes is
Peanut, if yes, and I know I'll grab Dallas again. Don't worry about her. We'll see if we can grab her. See if there's anything about South Carolina that's showed up in the search engines in the last week. Because every once in a while the media will sneak something in where they've got a truck off in the distance, but they didn't want to go in because there wasn't masks or something like that. I was really half expecting them to declare it a super spreader event, but Trump changed all that because he was doing super spreader events every other day.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of the children that were there, their favorite place to hang out was the How the World Works table, where Cammie and Zach had all the gadgets and all the scientific stuff and the miroscopes and the magnets and that.
Oh, and I forgot they were doing multiple back adjustment tables. That was awesome.
Yeah, there was multiple massage tables out. In fact, Dr. Law was giving out adjustments there. And then there was another woman who showed up who was she had bought a ticket just to attend, and she was a body worker. And then she started pitching in and started, giving out massages and stuff there. So it was just,
Yeah, there
It's
was
just
no downside. It was just
nope.
great energy all around. No negativity anywhere. I mean, even Nathan Thompson stayed out of trouble. When that's saying something, because I was just waiting for him to do something, but nope. You know, you put him and Fokker in the same room.
Yeah.
No, it was perfect. Fokker was great. He was all over the place. His energy stuff was off the charts.
Yeah.
I heard that David Weiss was thrown out of a couple of restaurants.
Possibly, but he was hanging out with Fokker and Brian Stavely, so you know.
Well, that would do it. They would just dare each other. They seriously, they'd be like, "I dare you to do blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Those three, they're a freaking.
That's who I had at my house this weekend. That's who was staying with me. It was David, DITRH, and then Fokker and Brian. So that was my house this weekend. Yeah.
That's saying something.
It was quite interesting, to say the least. But I'll say that DITRH is an excellent house guest. I would have him back anytime.
He was supposed to be with us. Apparently, he did not want to sleep with me in the loft on the trundle bed, which I thought would have been kind of.
He came here because he could have his own room.
Yeah, whatever. Freaking deep, right? Expect him to be in one of those Snickers ads. All right, let's see if we can grab two more before the break. Let's grab, how about this one? 510 out in California. What's happening?
My beautiful people, what's going on?
It's Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
I slept next to this man, just so you know.
That's good.
And just to dispel the rumors, Mark, whoever told you was a lawnmower, man, I barely even heard you, man. So you
Mark doesn't snore, or at least he didn't snore when I slept next to him.
Ixnay on these. Leaving to say,
you harlot.
Whatever. I sleep with a lot of people.
Look, I don't want to stay on long. I just, I don't want to hog up all the time, but the vibes was definitely real. We absolutely, totally freaking annihilated this social distancing mess. I mean, like you said, you couldn't find a mask if you tried to.
Nope.
Like I said, the vibes was great, man. Everybody was wonderful. I don't want to miss any names out because I met so many people. I was absolutely surprised that people actually recognized me from calling this wonderful show. That blew me away. So I wanted to make sure that I did acquiesce that when the gentleman came to me. I can't remember his name, and please forgive me if you're listening. But he was like, "Hey, man, we need you to start calling in again because we look forward to hearing you." So, wonderful community, man. I don't know any other type of events that get put together that people pay and then they also participate in putting things together after they paid their admission just because we want to be a part that much, And
right.
When you have people saying that, and I think this is probably safe to say, anywhere we have hosted at, for the most part, people, when they leave, see how we and a bunch of people with tinfoil on our heads and so on and so forth. So,
right.
Yeah, good times, good vibes, man. I enjoy all of you, Karen. Y'all did a wonderful job. And to that stud of yours, man, who holds you down like, whoa, man. I'm glad I got the opportunity to meet him as well. And look forward to the next one.
Right on, man. Ron, it was wonderful to see you again. And provided the world is still here in a few months, we're gonna keep doing this.
Yes.
Hey, there you go. Well, hey, like you always say, positive thoughts, man. Whatever comes down the pipeline, we take it as we get it. But it's nothing wrong with always, looking for better days. And yes, only for those who know what I'm about to say, they're gonna get it. I'm not a virgin anymore. Holla.
Nice, man. All right, hey, you have a good night, and we will talk again.
All right, peace. Put me back on mute.
Yeah, I love, by the way, that Ted keeps getting these shout outs. It's like, fine, he could be in one of those Squatch soap commercials. Fine, I get it. I don't think it's that great, but you guys want to keep giving him props, fine. It's tattoos. I don't know. You could bench press a small Jeep, maybe. Whatever. Let's go to. We got one more call for the break, and then after the break, we'll pick up a few more. By the way, phone to call in too. You know what? Let's pick up Jan for the break, and then I swear I will come back to Connecticut and New York and Louisiana and Minnesota. Let's do 214 before the last break. Hi, Jan. We missed you.
Hi, Jan.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Karen. And I almost felt like I was there. And shout out to New Mexico. And a couple things. Mark, do you realize if you had not started this show, 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
More plus? That we wouldn't all be talking to you and Karen and everybody and Nathaniel and everybody. It's because of you, Mark.
Well, to be fair, I do have to sacrifice some beauty sleep to do this, so it's not without cost. But thank you, Jan. And again, you guys know if I live long enough to write an autobiography, it's going to be called Unsolicited because I never had to pick up the phone. Chris and Sri Gio contacted me after a couple Rob Skiba interviews, and they said, "Hey, how would you like to do a thing on TFR?" It's like, and they put me on the spot. It's like, what do you want to call it? And like waiting. It's like, normally that sort of thing takes marketing and dollars and a whole department. It's like, what do you call it? And it's like, Strange World? That sounds great. Let's do that. And here we are. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was that fast. It's like they literally thought I was going to come up with a title off because I'd been thinking of it. It was like, no, Strange World. So thank you, Jan. And again, I believe everything for a reason. The conference felt like destiny. The conference felt like all synchronicity was lining up. We had no problems whatsoever with anything. I mean, we didn't even have feedback on the mic. That's impossible. Everybody was having a good time. Nobody got food poisoning. There weren't any shootings. There weren't any. I mean, even the media left us alone, which was great. Everything was wonderful, aside from the T-shirt thing. But even the T-shirt thing I got legs. That's going to be a running joke forever, and not a bad one because it's me. So yeah, thank you, Jen.
Oh, you're welcome. And have two shout outs. One to Mr. Tesla. I think he's looking down on us. I really, really do. And I have never been a smoker, but I want to shout out to those 40 or 50 people out there being able to smoke. Freedom.
Yeah. And there was a constant 40, 50 people out there. They were just rotating.
Yeah.
And some smoking cigarettes, some were not smoking cigarettes, but they were all having a great time. And I mean, the stuff happening out front of that building, I missed most of it, but I hear it was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, thank you guys so much for letting us know how all it went.
Yeah. Thank you, Jan. And
okay.
Stay safe. We're going to be doing live next week. In fact, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you have a good night, okay, Jan?
Thanks, Jan.
Bye-bye. Uh-huh.
Next week, of course, let's do a quick little preview because we have 90 seconds till the final break. Then we will pick up Connecticut, New York, Louisiana, maybe Minnesota, we'll say. Which is next week, as you know, live election coverage because it's Tuesday, election eve, and we're going to be covering it 10 to midnight Eastern. So we're going to know a lot by then.
Yes.
Or we're going to know a lot about what the hell's going to happen. So I'm literally, it's going to be a weird thing because I'm going to have the television to my left. I'm just going to be cycling through news channels on mute to see what the hell I can find out. The Peanut Gallery will be firing off news feeds as fast as he can to me. We'll be reading off, what you can expect or what you cannot expect. And then the week after that, God permitting, we are going to talk to, you don't know this yet, Karen. We're going to talk to the guy that was at the conference that was pushing the non-censorship platform that's going to compete against YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole Lighthouse.
I wanted to see his presentation, the Lighthouse
I know
guy.
Bob and I ended up watching it. It's a no-brainer. They're going in, they've got a whole bunch of backing, and they're claiming it's kind of like YouTube in its infancy. YouTube in the beginning, it's like, we're not going to.
Now, I'll say this. I did talk to him just a touch at the meetup the day before and a little bit the day of the conference, but of course I was way too busy. I was really wanted to see, based on what he told me, his little presentation, but he told me enough that I got the gist of it, and it sounds really cool. So I'm really glad that you're going to have him on and we're going to talk to him. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Not a non-censorship big platform that's being backed by some money people. And it was something I predicted anyway. We'll talk about this when we come back from the break. Just a little bit before Jeff calls. Don't go anywhere. 3 minutes.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877.
I don't want to beat the tomato waste. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Suck. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Fuck you, baller bitches. All you niggas pussy. The earth ain't got no curve, ain't no sense in even looking. The earth don't even spin. Now slide again. Fuck sign your tears. Y'all can suck my dick. The earth flat with a dome. Y'all can suck my balls. It ain't no South Pole. The earth ain't no gold. The baller bitches some hoes. I proved all y'all wrong. With the evidence shown. Like get your ass home. All y'all motherfucking baller bitches. All y'all can suck my motherfucking dick and shit. All y'all motherfucking baller bitches. All y'all can suck my motherfucking dick and shit. Gang, 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 gang. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Suck. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Look, the flat earth was right. The globally was wrong. It ain't no satellite like it ain't no Santa Claus. Y'all didn't go to the moon. Y'all can't land on the moon. NASA with that green screen, I can do that shit in my room. When I see an ocean flat, when I see a river flat, when I see a pool flat, scientists explain that gravity, it don't exist. Density, you stupid bitch. The bright sun and that pretty moon, both of them in a firmament. All y'all motherfucking baller bitches. All y'all can suck my motherfucking dick and shit. All y'all motherfucking baller bitches. All y'all can suck my motherfucking dick and shit. Gang, 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 gang. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Suck. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Fuck you, baller bitch. Y'all can suck my ball. Fuck you.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It's you, me, and Queen Bee. Maybe. We'll see. We're doing a call-in show. We still got a few more calls to go. Can you tell I've been drinking gin and lemonade? I hope so.
Have you? I thought you said that alcohol didn't affect you.
Well, it doesn't that much. Well, no, it's diminished effects. So after the first drink, not so much. I mean, I still feel relaxed, but it's not that. You know.
I'm drinking vodka and mango juice,
Ooh.
which is my new favorite. It's better than cranberry. I'm just saying.
I'm doing I'm doing the gin and lemonade for my voice, basically trying to recoup.
Shouldn't you have like tea and whiskey and lemon?
Yeah,
and honey? You should be drinking like hot
lemon,
toddies.
honey, and all that other stuff.
Oh, but it works. It works. It's good.
Look, citrus. I'm going with the powdered citrus in this case. All right, let's get to the calls, shall we? 203. Pick them up. 203. It's you, me, and Queen Bee. What's happening? Connecticut. Did we pick him before? No, that was a different guy. Who was the guy we picked up that was sleeping? I don't mind if you're sleeping. I know that I have that effect on people. If you want,
the guy that was sleeping.
You can always call my blue line. I'll put him back on mute.
I didn't hear any snoring that time.
No, I didn't either. All right, you know what? Let's take it up a notch, and
It's
let's
not as
go.
fun. It's not as fun when they don't snore loud.
I know.
If you're gonna fall asleep on the line, at least make sure you're sawing logs, so we can make fun of you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know some people. They would talk radio or anything like that. If you're sitting in the car doing whatever, Uber driver, delivery driver, something where you're in the car a lot and you're not truck driving. That happens. You sit back and it's like, oh yeah, I can zone out because Mark's is going to talk about who knows what. All right, let's grab New York. Let's go all the way out to 845. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be.
There you
go.
Tomorrow. Sorry, I excited, man. I'm sorry I popped my cork too quick. I fucking love you guys. Damn.
For those of you who don't know, this is Zulu one on the line. I get to spend a couple days with him, and Zulu was down there for 5 days?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Mark snore. He doesn't snore.
Nice. You're gonna give that away already? Our hot. And by the way, you had lost quite a bit of weight. You're looking pretty svelte.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So what was some of your favorite conference moments, man?
Favorite conference moments. Number one was dancing with Dottie.
I didn't dance
number
with Dottie.
two is getting. Yeah. Number two is absolutely getting polluted with Jen.
Okay, see, so he knows who Jen is too, Karen. See, Jen is a real person.
Jen, okay, yeah. I was watching chat during the break after that, and they're talking about Waters Above Jen. And I do remember her. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, the reason why Jen was such a wreck is because Zulu was buying her drinks and she was taking them.
Yeah.
She was buying me drinks. What are you talking about? I bought the first. That's all it takes. You just got to be smooth. You buy the first round, get them buzzed, and then they buy you drinks all night.
She could barely form a sentence when I dropped her off the hotel, man. She was a train wreck.
I was shot. Well, what do you think? The first round, that's why I walked over to you and was like, you're driving. I was like, this is just not going to be good.
By the way, how
can you
can you go toe-to-toe with Jen? That's not even remotely fair. You're twice her weight, easily.
She was the one feeding me the drinks, dude.
All right.
I am surprised I wasn't on my side. I was staggering, I'm sure. I didn't.
But you were. When did you start? Did you start at like noon?
Yeah, pretty much right away.
Yeah, so you were drinking for 12 hours, basically.
Yeah, it was Flatoberfest. I had to. I was on a mission, a total mission. I
honestly think on a scale from 1 to 100, you had more fun than pretty much anyone, I think.
Dude, I was laying in the grass, looking at the clouds, having drinks, talking to everybody. I stopped. I'm sorry, and I apologize to anyone there that really didn't want to meet me, but I was just in everybody's face. I was like, hey, how are you? What's your name? I'm Mark. How long you been doing this? I love it. Are you new? Okay, bye. See you later. I got to go. And then go meet other people. I was just everywhere.
That was pretty impressive, considering I don't think there was any cocaine involved. That's awesome.
Zero cocaine required. Adrenaline and love is an amazing fucking thing, man. Amazing fucking thing.
Yeah.
All you guys. I'm going to get all teary-eyed now, man. The drive home was so alone, 11 hours by myself, and the highway, and I'm like, man, I wish I was around everybody, not going back to the fucking world. It just sucks out here. You guys are awesome.
As you know, the Flat Earth community is always out there. It's always around you. It's just a question of getting the people together. I mean, and Flatoberfest should have proved that to you. That is, flat earthers are everywhere. They're everywhere. They're not going away. They're just behind. They're either in the closet or they're in the shadows. They are everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we are the fucking best, man.
Yeah.
They loved us there. I had the absolute honor of hanging out with Dottie and Sue Finelli. We went to breakfast. We went to the Georgia Guidestones. We laughed our asses off like we were little kids. It was just the best fucking day. Best fucking day.
Awesome.
These are things you don't get to do twice in a lifetime.
Oh yeah.
I may go again, but I won't ever go again. Probably with the two of them and in that moment and that, like you guys are saying, the vibration. This was just. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Like I can't help it, and I'll say I'm a 265-pound social butterfly running around just grabbing everyone. I couldn't help it. I couldn't fucking help it.
No, it was fun to watch you, man. You were everywhere. I was trying to see where you were at any given point because I couldn't tell. You couldn't sit still. It was great.
Oh man, I just loved it. OBL killed it. I mean, I haven't been out on a dance floor fucking 20 years. I was out there just loving every fucking second. It was great. It was awesome. It absolutely was. I was awesome. The food, PRD. I mean, I'm going to forget people's names to even say now. Alex. There's so many people. Like I was trying to get Alex's number all night. Guy from Brooklyn. You remember? I forgot his last name. L, right? L.
Lowry.
And thank you. And we kept passing each other, and I'm like, yeah. And then I was like, dude, I got 10 in me, man. I'll be back. And then I just kept going. It was so much fun. Night shooting, day shoot. It was awesome. Alex Weeks, the man, bringing all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
Alex.
I
mean, Alex, I don't know how much you spent on ammo, but that couldn't have been cheap. Because you threw out a lot of, the whole ammo can of ammo.
Was that the Alex who brought the ammo? Alex Lowry, or was it
Alex Weeks?
Oh, Alex Weeks. Lowry.
Okay. Too many Alexes.
Brooklyn.
Too many.
Too many Jennifers. Oh my God.
There's too many Alexes, Jennifers, and Nathans in Flat Earth.
Oh shit, bro. You have to throw us under the bus. Weird.
Well, no, there were. I met at least 3 other Marks besides you and me.
Oh yeah, Mark Wood, my man from Jersey.
Yeah.
Holy shit, there's so many people. That's for me going to these conferences. I love the knowledge that I get from Bob and Jason, and I love to sit through their stuff. But I can listen to their shows and their videos. I don't get that time face to face with people, toe to toe, and talk about things and read each other's body language and say, look, I'm genuine. I'm just a big fat douchebag from New York who loves everybody and hates the world and all the stupidness in it. And, if I could punch everybody in the face, I would. I can't do it. I'm one person.
Yeah.
And you guys are 4. You help me. You keep me sane. You're the reason I don't beat up my refrigerator every morning. I had to talk to you guys, for real.
Yeah.
And I know everyone in the chat, listening, you, Mark, Karen, everybody, we all feel this pain because the world is fucked up. And when we come together like this, wow. It's just so
it was a force to be reckoned with. I haven't felt optimism like that in a long time. And considering what we're in the middle of, It was extraordinary.
Yeah. Dude, that was like the biggest part. I mean, thank you 1,000 times, Karen. I can't thank you enough. You allowed me to sleep at your house. And, like I told you, when I go there, I swear I pulled in and it's like, oh, I'm home. It's not even like you feel like you're at a different place. It's home.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody here loves everybody. We watch each other's back. Like, it was funny. We couldn't find her and we had to go back. And it was like, no, man down. We can't leave somebody out there. That's how everybody is in this thing. We watch each other.
And yes, in retrospect, yeah, we had to go back because Jen was in no shape to talk to anybody else anyway. So she could barely form sentences.
What did Dottie say? Our phone call was the most hilarious phone call.
Oh my God. Listening to you guys was one of the most frustrating things ever. Two really drunk people trying to talk to each other when the connection drops and it's too noisy. Oh, hey, you there? I can't hear you. What? Hang on. Click. Hey, you there? Oh, it was. And you gotta remember, she couldn't talk on the other side or probably hear. Anyway. All right. Anyway, we want to pick up a couple more calls. Any shout outs, Ben? Obvious shout outs.
Yes. First, I just want to say we are the fucking best. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Flat Earth rules.
Yeah, I got a quick quote and then I'll get the hell out of here.
Okay.
All right. Some people arrive and make such a beautiful impact on your life, you can barely remember what life was without them. Or what life was like them. And that's how I felt like meeting people. I mean, Jen and I were giggling like we knew each other since we were in freaking grade school. It was just like, look at that, blah, 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 flatter, da, da, da. The way, I don't know. I'm speechless. I'm good. I love you guys. Shout out to Karen B. You are the best, amazing person. Shout out to Mark Sargent. Shout out to Dottie's World. Shout out to OG legend Sue Finelli. That woman is the bomb. She was just amazingly awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And she absolutely adored Karen. She couldn't stop thanking me for bringing her to your house. She loves you. She had such a great time with you.
Good. I'm glad.
Everybody.
All
Ready?
right, man.
Hey. Shut up. Goodbye. I'll talk forever. I love you. Bye.
All right.
I talked to the sun will come out
tomorrow.
Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. Hey, who is he talking about, by the way? Where he said the person that you brought to your house. Who's he talking about?
Sue.
Just now? Oh, Sue.
Sue Finelli.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Can we pick up two more before we close this baby down? Let's do 504. 504, were you at the conference? Were you not at the conference? What happened?
I was at the conference. I talked to you multiple times.
God, it's Dennis. Oh, God. I made a mistake. All right, Dennis, what did you love about the conference? And try to keep it under 4 minutes.
Okay. 4 people I met, but the two, everybody was great, like second everything everybody said. But the two greatest things, of course, meeting my wife. And I was there Thursday night. I was messaging from the airport with both Nathan Thompson and Zulu, and they told me about the party at Bob's house, but I had to miss it to go pick up my wife at the train station. So I told Bob I'd hit him up next time around. The second best thing, I guess I wasn't expecting. It was just I guess it involved Karen B. and Jason Lindgren. I guess it was how do you say, impromptu, but technically I became a speaker and I wasn't expecting that. When I didn't have the microphone and Karen went up in front of the whole audience, do you realize, I hope you know that nobody can even hear you. And Jason, well, why don't you just come up here and speak? So I didn't say this, but it was only as a joke, but the first thing that came to my mind, and I apologize beforehand, when she said that, I thought as a joke, but I didn't have the guts to say it. How dare you interrupt me when I'm speaking? No, I apologize. The 4 people, and I'll just say them real quick. 2 of them were good friends from previous conferences. At Dallas, Flatoberfest, they had all this violence with the party wreckers over there, and I had, in the middle of that, that's too long of a story to go into, but I offered to buy him a drink and never got around to it, and I delivered at this conference, so that felt good to do. As I know he was, as Mark told me at the end, he was probably more drunk than anybody in the place. I'm talking about Mac Bahar, and I was surprised he made it. The other one, I know he's probably listening, Shane Gordon from Canada. He and his wife took me out. He was drunk at the Dallas conference and insisted that I go in to see Owen Benjamin at the end, and that's a whole story in itself. But I've seen him, both of them, at every conference I've been to. Lastly, the last 2 are Nathaniel. I hadn't seen him since Denver, but there's a lot of stuff that I want to get into, and so there's a future there, especially stuff with the history, like the anti-racist question I was getting at with Jason. By the way, I've been sending emails with Jason beforehand the past couple of weeks. I sent him a couple full of links because I knew the stuff he was going to be talking about with the propaganda and all, but I was real glad to see Nathaniel. And when I first met him, Mark, I think it was Friday, I was talking with you when he came up to us and met me. The other person, I hadn't met her before. There's a couple of Bulgarian ladies who were born in the Soviet Union, but their family background was Orthodox Christianity. Yeah. Lily Marenkova was one of them, and there's a future there because a lot of common interest in the same stuff. So cool. I guess that was the highlight. That wasn't all of it, but yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Love the conversation, though.
Yeah. It was. There was no downsides. I know the Bulgarian women you're talking about. They had a great time. In fact, I don't remember any negative comments from anybody. Usually you run into somebody who come up to you. It's like, yeah, I wish you would have done this different or this different. And no, everybody was just so happy to be there. Part of it was because of the virus, because everyone was so pent up. It's like, oh my God, there's something we can do. We even had walk-ins. We had people that walked in that didn't even know what Flat Earth was. It's like, holy smokes, there's something at the event center? I'm going. So
all those people that bought all that and cold beer, all this stuff at the Friday meetup, it was like, wow. I offered donations and they were refused, and like a bow to them. Very much thank you to Karen and all those people who donated. It was like it was marvelous.
Awesome. I want to take at least one more call before the break. Any shout outs?
To all the people I named, and keep on keeping on.
Right on, man. Hey,
go.
Again, if we can survive 2020, I guarantee that Flat Earth will be alive and very healthy in 2021. We'll be the last ones to go down. Let's put it that way.
Try not to be so pessimistic.
Yeah. Tell me that Tuesday, man. Anyway, nice to talk to you again. It's Dennis. Honestly, I am just impressed that you keep showing up at these events. When no matter where they are, you're one of the hardcore. So props to you.
Hey, I'll see you around, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right. Who's going to be the last call tonight?
Who's going to be the last caller?
Is it going to be 651?
Wait.
What?
Is the sleeping person still on?
Oh, yeah. Let's go back to Connecticut.
Let's go check. Can we hear him snoring?
203. Are you there? 203. I'm using ASMR on you right now. That's you, Karen. Turn that off.
COVID's alive. That's not me, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's got to be. It's either you, me, or Peanut. All right, let's go back to
it's me.
651. All right, 651. Are you the last caller of the evening? We'll find out. 651.
Hey, everybody in chat. Karen B. and her co-host, Mark Sargent.
Thanks.
Long-time caller, first-time listener.
Really?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. What is happening?
Not a whole lot, Mark. Do you happen to know who this is?
I'm looking. I don't want to say your name because it shows up on my screen. Enter GPS location and if I want to drone strike or not. What's
fire when ready?
Well, I'm on the highway. I'm coming up to Indianapolis, Indiana. So if I see a drone,
I know who you are. I know you are. You were absolutely at the conference.
Minneapolis. So yeah, you and I had that fun little chat about honors and the first sitcom that I have seen this year wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And if anybody else doesn't know who
that was wild, by the way.
Joshua,
Absolutely wild. In the Connors, which of course you guys don't know is the spinoff, kind of a spinoff from Roseanne. And they had an episode where one of the kids was a big virus social distancing nut. So he was like in a full bodysuit and face mask, and he was trying to get the family on board. And I've never, this is primetime sitcom, and they're trying to work it in. It was startling to watch, but then again, that's where we are.
Yeah. Hi, Karen B.
Hi. Are you almost home?
I'm going up to Indianapolis right now, and I should be in Minneapolis at 8:30 in the morning.
Dang, man.
Yeah. Any
driving through?
Anything else you want to throw at us?
Yeah. Alex, Critical Inception is the one that brought the bullets and the weaponry for you to shoot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alex rocks.
Yeah.
Alex rocks. I held out to the end, and people were like, "Oh, come on, Mark, do a mag," and it's like great, but it's like part of me was like, "Man, do you know how much of this ammo costs right now?" So again, huge props to Alex.
It was so great meeting you, Karen, again in person. You, Mark, thanks a lot so much for setting all this up, Karen. Shout out to Just Jack for letting me hang out with him for the duration of my stay after my hotel was up. I had a chat with Brian Stavely. I hope that he reconsiders the conversation that him and I had. I think he's really great, and he has really good camera presence, and I think the topics that he's educated in, he's really strong in, and I just hope that he can seek out some help from fellow truthers to just learn more knowledge about other topics. Flattered Fokker Mac in Canada, we had so much fun. We went to the Guidestones also, and we checked that out. We did a naughty and nice pictures. The dozen or so of us that went, we did some serious pictures, and then we did a Illuminati symbol picture all over the Guidestones. So that really triggered some of the truther normies out there. I even got a text message from Kate Powerland. I triggered the Powerland family. So that was really encouraging to see that they watch my content in the background.
Nice.
I did do an 8-hour live stream on my YouTube channel, Authentic Intent. So I hope that people can check that out. I brought the table that I do and I used in Minneapolis, so it was the actual mock-up setup. Like it wasn't the JFK car or the tweaker shelter that we see, but the actual table and stuff. So that was really cool to see everybody. Dottie was my booth partner. She was next to me, and I bought some of her domes from her. Unfortunately, I left 3 of my domes on my table, and I stepped out to hang out with some friends during a presentation, and I came back and one of my domes.
Yeah. Hey, shout outs.
So,
we're closing down the show. So quick shout outs.
Yeah. So shout out to Karen B, Russian Bids, Mark Sargent, Eric Dubay, everybody else, Zulu One in the chat, Dottie, and God bless you all. Just Jack listening. We'll see you next year at Flatoberfest 2021.
All right, man. Great to see you again. Fantastic.
Thanks for coming, Josh.
All right. Well, this is the end of the show. So next week will be of course, D-Day, the great election coverage, which we're going to be doing live Tuesday. And so next week it'll be same flat time, same flat channel.
Yes.
And
so I'll be prepping this week. I'll be gathering lots of supplies so that I don't have to leave my house for at least a week starting election day.
Hey, say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Well, there you go. Queen, be yourself. Best conference ever.
I love you guys. Thanks everybody for coming to Flatoberfest 2020. It would be nothing without everybody who came.
Indeed. And hot sex.
Hot sex.
What up?
All right. That's it. End of the show, you guys. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see me start crying earlier after Dr. Law called? I had to turn the screen on and shut things off because that brought me to tears. I love you guys. I loved meeting everybody there. I loved seeing everybody with these big smiles on their faces. For me, I worked a lot. I was working that weekend. I didn't have a lot of time to spend with everybody, but all the people that came up to me and thanked me for planning the event, all I could say back was thanks for coming, because I just set it up. It doesn't matter what I do if nobody comes to the event. So thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for being part of this community. Thanks for loving truth, and thanks for keeping it flat.